Hi, and welcome back to Musicians Edition for Flute. I'm your teacher, Risa, and today we're working in the Rubank Intermediate Method for flute or piccolo. And today we're on page 46, looking at Two Part Intervention Duet by Bach. Now, before we get too far in, we do have this duet and one more duet, and that's the end of the intermediate book. So make sure you get your advanced book down below. That way when we're ready to move on to advanced, you're ready to go too. Okay, so now looking at our two-part invention. Did I say intervention? Two-part invention. Oh gosh. Okay, Two-Part Invention by Bach, part 2. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna notice is our time signature. What do we have? 3/8. So we're going to be counting in 3. 1, 2, 3. With the 8th note still getting the beat. As you can see, this is a pretty fast piece. Looking at our tempo markings, we're not going to take it as fast. So I think a lot of people I heard were playing this were about 172. We're going to take it slower for now, just for the sake of video and practice purposes. But of course, if you're working with somebody else, or if you really do want to fully master this, then work your tempo up even faster on your own time during your own practice. Okay, so looking at part 2. We're going to start with 2 rests. We can see that part 1 comes in first. Okay? And then we just kind of have runs. This piece will show us why it was important to work on our scales, because a lot of it is just working your way up and down the scale. Okay, with a couple accidentals thrown in there. As you can see from measure 4, we have a G sharp in there, right? A lot of this is slurred too. We got some staccatos. So I really think just the best thing for us to do right now, we'll sight read it and then break it down. All right, so when I count us in, we're gonna skip through the rests right now. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Excellent job. So you can see how the scales help with this piece. Okay, and once again, lots of slurs. It may be a challenge for breathing, but the faster you do it, the easier the breathing gets. So that part helps in your favor, okay? So I guess let's do this line by line, and we might speed it up as we go. All right, so line 1. The only thing that might throw you off, and it throws a few people off when they're first learning this, is just going from that F to the G sharp. The G sharp throws us off because it's not really within our scale here. So you might just need to practice that transition. But once you get that, it clicks. All right, so let's do line 1, skipping those 2 first measures of rest. 1, 2, 3. And we staccato those. So those are nice and short. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. Let's take a look at line 2 now. A little more what feels relaxed because now we're just hitting on the beat and we're keeping this nice and short staccatoed. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, that part's not so hard, right? Excellent. Okay, now we're going on to line 3. And this is once again where the scale aspect really helps, okay? We're going a lot of just ups and downs. So let's go ahead and give this part a try now too. 1, 2, 3. Excellent job. And we want to try to fit that as much as we can within one breath, okay? This was not meant to be broken up. There's no room for breaking up. But like I said, it helps the faster we go.
This lesson is brought to you by the Musician's Edition practice book. Make goals and keep track of progress throughout the whole year. When you're done with this video lesson, don't forget to mark this practice time in your Musician's Edition practice book. Now back to the video.
All right, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Excellent job. And if that was too fast for you, just remember on your own time, take a look at it, practice it slowly. Practice your scale that goes with this too. So practice both the C major and the A minor scale. It's the relative, so there's no sharps or flats in either of those scales. Okay, let's move on to the next line. What is that? 1, 2, 3, fourth line, okay? And some people get thrown off in that measure 2 there because we're used to going fast and then we take it, but I think we got this. Just, to slow it down in your mind. Mine's working too fast. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. So just right, do short, short. All right, let's go ahead and give that a try again. We'll speed it up a little bit. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. Let's take a look at line 5 now, okay? We got that C sharp marked in there, and we have a couple rests, so you can take a moment to think during those rests. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. Not really too hard when you break it down and think about it for a minute. Let's go ahead and do it again. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. Now we're on to page 47, taking a look at that top line, okay? It's a little bit more accidental work here, but nothing to be overly concerned about. Just know we have, the F sharp, D sharp coming up, D sharp, C sharp. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. This section here, when we're doing the B to C sharp, kind of starts to build a tension. So this is a pretty fun part in my opinion, though by itself it's just whatever. But as the duet, we're starting to grow a little and get tense. It's telling the story, okay? All right. And throughout our dynamic markings, it's mezzo forte throughout the whole time, but when you're playing with another person in this section, this is a great spot to do-do-do-do-do-do-do, and kind of grow and get louder, all right? But once again, kind of follow along with your partner because they may not be doing the same thing, and you guys want to make sure you match the energy. Okay, let's do that again though. 1, 2, 3. excellent job. All right, now on to line 2 of 47. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. And so for this one, there's going to be different ways you're probably going to hear this. Okay, so the way I learned this one is really just taking your thumb off for trilling. But if you were thinking about to like our previous lesson, right, you might also hear it, right, which would be going down to that A sharp because it's marked with the sharp. Okay, so I'm going to say there's both ways of doing that. It doesn't have them like marked in, so it's not, you know, it's not, it is what it is. There's a little bit of openness to it. All right, so let's go ahead and give this one a try. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's do it a little bit faster. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. Let's do line 3 on page 47 now. Now this section here does throw some people off. Not necessarily measure 1 or measure 2, but it's measure 3 and measure 4 that do. Okay, it's just seeing the accidentals with the natural in there, with the flat and the sharp, really throws people off. So you might have to just take some time with those 2 measures to really get that down. Okay, and then just start speeding it up. All right, so let's go ahead and do this whole entire line now. 1, 2, 3. All right, and that was a little harder to stop right at since it goes on. Okay, let's do it again and we'll speed it up. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. Let's take a look at the next line. This one also throws a lot of people off from measure 2 and measure 3 because we have the F sharp, the G sharp, and that one's can be kind of challenging. Okay, and I would personally recommend, if you remember the way we trill our F sharps, right, with 6th and 5th finger, this time I would absolutely recommend you do it the alternative way. Versus it's just cleaner, especially coming down. It's cleaner to do it with the alternative F sharp fingering. So I would do it that way, and especially when we're doing it faster, it'll be so much better. Okay, so let's do that really slow. Here's what we're gonna do. We'll do it slow with regular F sharp first. That way we can see and feel the difference. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now do it this time. We'll do the same speed with the F sharp alternative fingering. 1, 2, 3. So much cleaner, right? It does that because between going down to F to E natural, we normally have a little bit of a bloop, bloop, bloop. We have a little bit of a blip, and that cleans that blip right out of there. Okay, well, let's go ahead and give this a full try now. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. Let's speed that section up now. 1, 2, 3. All right, right, excellent job. Now I think we can just finish this off. The piece does have a retardando there on the second to last measure. So when you're playing with somebody else, take note of that and make sure you guys follow along with each other to follow how slow we go. For the video purpose, we're just gonna cut that out. Okay, here we go. Last line, 47. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. We've made it all the way through. So now let's go ahead and play it all the way through together, and then we'll do it as a duet. All right, so this time we're cutting out those two first measures. Starting right in. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. Now let's play it as a duet. So that means you now have to rest for those first two measures because part 1, me, will be playing during that time. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, excellent job. Bach writes some amazing pieces, and I love the classical duets. How about you? Let me know in the comments. All right, while you're down there, don't forget to hit like, notify, and subscribe. And until next time.